There's no point in saying good morning, because it certainly is not one.
You will remember this day for the rest of your lives.
Today is a historic day for this country.
A sad day. A very sad day in this country.
This is a great day for life, a great day for America.
What an historic day this is.
This is a fantastic day for life.
This is a sad day for the country, in my view.
What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and if you haven't already heard the breaking news, today is going to be going down in the history books. This is your breaking news update. Take a look at the headlines coming out left and right. Live updates. Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade. In a landmark decision, states now move to ban abortion as the federal ruling has been overturned, and now states will determine whether or not abortion is legal in their states. Take a look. The ruling eliminating the constitutional right of an abortion after almost 50 years was met with celebration and anger across the country, and President Joe Biden said the decision was the realization of extreme ideology and told Americans, with your vote, you can act. And I'm going to be sharing with you the response of President Joe Biden, also Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, that says, yes, we're going to be voting, and you're going to be seeing Republican responses as well. Across the board, though, we are hearing this is not over. This is just the beginning. Take a look at the headlines, you guys. Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade. Roe v. Wade, live coverage, live updates. The Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade. Anti-abortion groups rejoice as Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade. And we're hearing 26 states are certain or likely to ban abortion without Roe v. Wade. And I'm going to link this one down below. It was updated a couple months ago as to what's likely going to be happening in individual states. But you guys, take a look. President Joe Biden calls on Congress to restore Roe v. Wade protections as federal law. This is not over. Biden urges protesters to remain peaceful after Supreme Court decision overturning Roe v. Wade. And without a doubt, extreme responses, celebration, and anger. I'm going to be sharing with you all of the responses that are coming out. But you guys, there is so much news rolling out today. I'm just going to try my best to get you the latest so you know what's going on. So let's dive into the video footage. I'm going to be sharing with you first the Republicans' response to this. And then if you want to see the Democratic response to this, I'm going to share Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden's at the end. So stick around. But let's go ahead and dive right in. And if you appreciate the updates, keeping you up to speed on breaking news, don't forget, smash that like button for me. Helps out my channel a ton. Thank you so much. And if you want to stay up to date, it's totally free to come join the Ram fam. Why not? I'll keep you up to speed on everything going on with Congress, the economy, stimulus, breaking news. Just smash that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. Any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. Consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance in this turbulent economic environment. I hope that that's a blessing to you. If you're interested, I'll pin a comment down below. Click it, go subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'm going to be sharing with you a massive list that I'm working on for stimulus checks in states, cities, and counties that a lot of people don't know about. And I want to make sure that you don't miss out on anything that could help you out at this time, so keep an eye out for that as well. But with that being said, you guys, let's take a look at the breaking news, this historic day, the reactions coming out across the board from Congress.
Roe v. Wade has been a terrible stain on our nation for too long. I'm grateful for God in His divine guidance in the Supreme Court's decision on Dobbs. By effectively overturning Roe v. Wade, the United States will step away from the notion that aborting a baby must be allowed on demand and up till the birth. Today, the Dobbs decision stands as an affirmation that states can take actions to protect both the preborn and their mothers. The decision does not outlaw abortion, as some pro-abortionists contend, but it is a significant departure from Roe in that the people, through their elected leaders, will guide how each state approaches abortion rather than a nationwide policy set by unelected judges. As we move forward as a nation, I believe greater attention should be paid to the needs of pregnant women and their babies. I am so very proud that Mississippi has had a leading role in overturning Roe v. Wade, and I will continue to pray for God's guidance over the Supreme Court and all policymakers who will now take up the abortion issue across the country.
What an historic day this is, and what a great victory for life. And it's not just a victory for life, it's a victory for millions of people who have been part of this pro-life movement for decades, who have gone to state legislatures, who have gotten involved in the political process, who've prayed, and prayers were answered today. The decades of work is celebrated today, but the work just begins now to go and protect life even more, because the Supreme Court's decision overturning Roe v. Wade, correcting that flawed decision, finally allows states and Congress to protect life in ways that we never were able to for the last 50 years. That debate was silenced during the years Roe v. Wade was the law of the land, but that debate just begins again.
This is a win for the pro-life movement, with the Supreme Court ruling today to take the unconstitutional Roe versus Wade and push it back down to the states where it rightly deserves to be. Thousands of innocent babies have been saved with this ruling. Our prayers have been answered, and again, this is a fantastic day for life.
This is so awesome, oh my gosh. I can't believe they just did it. This is so amazing.
I'm U.S. Senator Marsha Blackburn, and just so truly thrilled to congratulate the pro-life movement on our historic victory in the Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Organization. For almost 50 years, we've taken our stand for life. It's been against a rising tide of moral decay, but with courage and dedication, we built a society that cherishes life at all stages. I want to offer my gratitude to the advocates, the lawmakers, the sidewalk counselors, the doctors, and other compassionate hearts who worked so hard to guide America into her post-Roe era. The Supreme Court has confirmed that Roe v. Wade was a blatant act of judicial activism that put the fate of the unborn in the hands of unelected judges. Now, at last, that authority is back with the states where it belongs, and we, the people, have the power to make our voices heard by voting. On behalf of the 63 million babies we lost to Roe's culture of death, I call on each of you to keep up that fight. Here in Washington, I will champion the pro-life movement with a resolution reaffirming Congress's commitment to providing women with the resources they need to choose life and to help their children thrive. I encourage you to join us by making a personal commitment to stand for life in your homes, your communities, and in the halls of your state legislature. Our work is far from over, but with your help, we will affirm once and for all the sanctity of life for all Americans. May God bless you all.
Hi everyone, Congressman Jody Hice here, coming to you live from Washington, D.C. You're probably just hearing the news that the Supreme Court has come out with a decision on Roe v. Wade. We could not be more thrilled that the protection of life is being upheld and that Roe has been overturned. So we're excited today in understanding two things. Number one, that this is a great day for life, a great day for America, but this is also the beginning of a great battle that now turns to the states. We all recognize that the value of life is important. It's one of the most important battles we can engage in, and there are two lives involved. There's the life of the mother, and there's the life of the baby. And the radicals on the left are determined to continue abortion all the way through full-term pregnancy. And now that battle is going to the states. So as we pray now for our country, for the protests that undoubtedly are about to begin nationwide, to the battles that will begin in state legislatures all across the nation, I ask for you to join me in prayers as we go forward from this point, and today as we celebrate a great, great victory.
Congressman Don Norcross here. Over my shoulder you can see the Supreme Court in the background, where they just announced a decision that, quite frankly, I never thought I would hear in my lifetime. Taking away the fundamental right to privacy for women, and quite frankly, it will be for men in a number of other decisions. But taking away the ability for women to make a decision on their body, overturning Roe v. Wade. It's a sad day in this country when you can pack a court, essentially picking the judge that makes the decision you want. That's not the way our forefathers designed our great country. A sad day. A very sad day in this country.
Is this the pro-life generation? You will remember this day for the rest of your lives.
Today is a historic day for this country. Today is a day for which millions of Americans, myself included, have worked and prayed. Today, the United States Supreme Court has overturned Roe v. Wade, a turning point in our nation's history that will undoubtedly save millions of lives and open the door to greater legal protections for the unborn. I am grateful to all the pro-life Americans who have, for years, tirelessly defended the rights of unborn human beings. Today is the first day toward a new and brighter future, and I am grateful the justices have decided to return this issue to the American people and their elected representatives where it belongs.
There's no point in saying good morning, because it certainly is not one. This morning, the radical Supreme Court is eviscerating Americans' rights and endangering their health and safety. But the Congress will continue to act to overcome this extremism and protect the American people. Today, the Republican-controlled Supreme Court has achieved their dark, extreme goal of ripping away a woman's right to make their own reproductive health decisions. Because of Donald Trump, Mitch McConnell, and the Republican Party, their supermajority in the Supreme Court, American women today have less freedom than their mothers. With Roe and their attempt to destroy it, radical Republicans are charging ahead with their crusade to criminalize health freedom. In the Congress, be aware of this, the Republicans are plotting a nationwide abortion ban. They cannot be allowed to have a majority in the Congress to do that, but that's their goal. And if you read, and again, we're all studying all this, but if you read what is in the very clear, one of the justices had his own statement. It's about contraception, in vitro fertilization, family planning. That is all what will spring from their decision that they made today. It's such a contradiction. Yesterday, they say the states cannot make laws governing the constitutional right to bear arms. And today, they're saying the exact reverse, that the states can overturn a constitutional right for 50 years, a constitutional right for a woman having the right to choose. The hypocrisy is raging, but the harm is endless. What this means to women is such an insult. It's a slap in the face to women about using their own judgment to make their own decisions about their reproductive freedom. And again, it goes well. I always have said the termination of a pregnancy is just their opening act. It's just their front game. But behind it, and for years, I have seen in this Congress opposition to any family planning, domestic or global, when we have had those discussions and those debates and those votes on the floor of the House. This is deadly serious, but we are not going to let this pass. A woman's right to choose, reproductive freedom, is on the ballot in November. We cannot allow them to take charge so that they can institute their goal, which is to criminalize reproductive freedom, to criminalize it. Right now, they're saying in states that they can arrest doctors and all the rest. What is happening here? What is happening here? A woman's fundamental health decisions are her own to make in consultation with her doctor, her faith, her family. not some right-wing politicians that Donald Trump and Mitch McConnell packed the court with. While Republicans seek to punish and control women, Democrats will keep fighting ferociously to enshrine Roe v. Wade into the law of the land. This cruel ruling is outrageous and heart-wrenching, but make no mistake, again, it's all on the ballot in November.
It's not hyperbole to suggest a very solemn moment. Today, the Supreme Court of the United States expressly took away a constitutional right from the American people that it had already recognized. They didn't limit it, they simply took it away. That's never been done to a right so important to so many Americans. But they did it. It's a sad day for the court and for the country. 50 years ago, Roe v. Wade was decided and has been the law of the land since then. This landmark case protected women's right to choose, her right to make intensely personal decisions with their doctor, free from the interference of politics. It reaffirmed basic principles of equality, that women have the power to control their own destiny, and it reinforced a fundamental right of privacy, a right of each of us to choose how to live our lives. Now, with Roe gone, let's be very clear. The health and life of women in this nation are now at risk. As chairman and ranking member of the Senate Judiciary Committee, as vice president and now as president of the United States, I've studied this case carefully. I've overseen more Supreme Court confirmations than anyone today, where this case was always discussed. I believe Roe v. Wade was the correct decision as a matter of constitutional law and application of the fundamental right to privacy and liberty in matters of family and personal autonomy. It was a decision on a complex matter that drew a careful balance between a woman's right to choose earlier in her pregnancy and the state's ability to regulate later in her pregnancy. A decision with broad national consensus that most Americans of faith and backgrounds found acceptable, and that had been the law of the land for most of the lifetime of Americans today. And it was a constitutional principle upheld by justices appointed by Democrat and Republican presidents alike. Roe v. Wade was a 7-2 decision, written by a justice appointed by a Republican president, Richard Nixon. In the 5 decades that followed Roe v. Wade, justices appointed by Republican presidents from Eisenhower, Nixon, and Reagan, George W. Bush, were among the justices who voted to uphold the principles set forth in Roe v. Wade. It was 3 justices named by one president, Donald Trump, who were the core of today's decision to upend the scales of justice and eliminate a fundamental right for women in this country. Make no mistake, this decision is a culmination of a deliberate effort over decades to upset the balance of our law. It's a realization of an extreme ideology and a tragic error by the Supreme Court, in my view. The court has done what it has never done before, expressly take away a constitutional right that is so fundamental to so many Americans that had already been recognized. The court's decision to do so will have real and immediate consequences. State laws banning abortion are automatically taking effect today, jeopardizing the health of millions of women, some without exceptions. So extreme that women could be punished for protecting their health. So extreme that women and girls who are forced to bear their rapist's child, with the child a consequence. It just stuns me. So extreme that doctors will be criminalized for fulfilling their duty to care. Imagine having a young woman have to carry the child of incest as a consequence of incest. No option. Too often the case. The poor women are going to be hit the hardest. It's cruel. In fact, the court laid out state laws criminalizing abortion that go back to the 1800s as rationale. The court literally taking America back 150 years. This is a sad day for the country, in my view.